So you're welcome back to this video, and in this video we are going to learn about React lists. Now lists are items in an array such as number, string, object, and array. You can have an array inside an array. So we are going to learn how to use the map. So mapping and rendering a list, adding unique keys to each array list so that React will not frown at you, and so that it will be able to know when a certain item in the array has been updated and update that accordingly without re-rendering the page. The benefit of list. So to use list in an in React means you have to reduce your markups, easy to maintain and update, etc. So let's do that. So we are going to go back to our VS Code. So I'm going to create a component just to keep things organized, so that when I send the code to GitHub you can easily understand. So we'll move to lists, then we'll create the file, the component lists .jsx. Then we'll do our arrow AFCE. So we'll have to go to our navbar. Our app component. We need to call this. So have list. Remove this here, call our what? Lists, and that is it. Then lastly we move to our navbar. Here's our navbar. Not that. So many things I need to close. So we add this here. Shift Alt arrow down. So this is going to be our list. Then this is going to be lists. So let's do that. So if we go back to our page, we'll have this. So we have our list which is empty. We have this, and if we add here, you notice it still works like before. And if we go back to our flower, this is going to show us even. So everything is working just like before. So in our list now, we want to do the following things. So let's say a list of favorite fruits. So age to my favorite fruits. So just like 5 of them. So we'll use our OL, which is ordered list, LI, so apple. So I don't know why everybody likes apple. Then banana, then orange, coconut. So is coconut a fruit? It's a fruit. Carrots. Hoping that is the spelling. So if we do this, we'll have this. So you see our favorite fruits, apple, this and that. So how can we use list to output this? So you notice if this list is up to like 1000 now, that's how we'll be typing this. Therefore, to update, we have to manually come here and do what? Update. So let's create an external file. So we have list data. This is how I usually do it. List data.gss, or you can have a data file upwards. Then I want to put export. So this is how we export in React. First of all, put export const, then fruits list, doesn't have to be list. Then I have my array and I have my object. So this is going to have an ID of 1. So if I don't want to be manually adding the ID, I can use something here. So I'll say let ID be equal to 0. So I'll just come here, ID plus plus. I put my command, then text. Text is going to be what? Apple as a string. Apple, and that is it. So just text and this. So I put my semicolon here, and I'll do this into 5 times. 1 2 3 4 5. So apple, banana, orange, coconut, which one again? Do we do carrots? Well, this one is extra. Let's put this pineapple. Pineapple. Okay, hoping I'm correct. So we have this. So this is going to be exported or imported in our list. So I'll have this. So we'll save it inside a use state so that in case we want to update. Remember, if you don't pass through a hook, which one of them is the use state, you can't update your DOM. So select fruits, sets fruits be equal to use state. So excuse me, use state fruits list. So that is it. So the initial value of this our list is going to be what? Of this our use state or fruit is going to be the array from here, from our list data. The next, I'm going to remove all of this, or I can comment it out. Then I'm going to enter my JavaScript environment, then fruits. That's why I like VS Code. You can just tap, spell something wrong, and if your IntelliSense is working fast, you get the correct one and select. It makes it more faster. Dot map, then singular now fruits, your arrow function. Then I need to return a list and li. Then remember we use text, so each, so fruits, not that, dot text dot text. Okay, now if we save this, you notice what will happen now. We'll have use state is not defined. I made that mistake again, so the mistake is fixed now. So I'll have this now. Good. So let's use this React feature. Make everything align to the center. Align. center. So it's going to be like this: my favorite fruits, apple, this and that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do now is, if I refresh this, I should be having an error. Each child in a list should have a key value prop. So to fix that error, we'll have to come here and add a key. So key, then I'll add fruits. Dot ID. Remember, we give them a unique ID. So if I do that, the error will be gone. So if I refresh this page again, see, the error is gone. Now let's create a button that will add a list. So button add fruits. So we've not learned form, so we'll not use form, just use button. Then on click, so we want to write a function that will add to the list. So how do we do this? Let's try this. Push. Set fruits be equal to list fruits dot push. Which one do I add here? Grape. So let's see if this is going to add. So if I add fruits, oh, that's an error. Okay, so we need to find a way to add these fruits. But I know we use set, so let's start with a function first. Function to add fruits. So function add fruits so it's going to accept a parameter which is the grape. So let's do our console.log grape here. So whatever is passed there will be the A, console.log grape. Okay, so if I do that, if I press this add fruit, you're going to see grape. I press again, you're going to see grape. So if I refresh that, add fruit, you're going to see grape, just like that. So next, what we want to do now is this. We want to update our array. So we say set fruits we're going to use the spread operator dot list, not list fruits. Then we have an ID. So the ID should be let's use 20 because we don't have anyone. Then the text should be A. Fruits, that's and this is not going to work. I'm going to add it as an object. Oh, we are meant to use an array, dot fruits, not an object. So that's how I remember my codes. I don't just understand the principles and try to remember it. So if it was an object, then the initial part would have worked. That one I typed, for example, but because this is an array, fruit is usually an array, so the spread operator can be, there are so many. The spread operator can be used to copy an array, can be used to update an array, can be used to do so many things. So and one of it now is I want to use it to update this list. So I'm going to have the text. The text will be A. So if I save this and tap, you see it adds. If I tap again, it always add grape, but you see react to finality because grape and grape has two names. So we can write a function that will generate a random number between that is not in the array. So there's a way to do that. Instead of writing a function, you can put fruits here, dot fruits dot length yes, that is it. So you just put fruit dot length. You remember the length of an array is one digit above the last index. So once we add to an array, the index, the length of the array increase. So if the length of an array is 5, it means the last index is 4. So I want to be adding to the last one, so that will fix that error. So if I refresh this page, and I add, so you see, even if I add again, see, it does not run error now. So that's good. So you can further write a logic that will prevent it from adding a fruit that has already been existed or that has already been added. So the last thing that we can do now is to see how we can remove an item from an array. So let's try to do that. So put remove an item. So I'll put here apple, so remove fruit, so inside this my remove fruit function. So what I will do here now is remove function remove fruit. I think there is a method to search to an array and get a function, but I'll use a logic I usually use. So I'll put fruits. I'll put let's update UPD, go to list. Why do I always use this? Fruits dot map. So we have each fruit like so. Or we can even use a filter, not that. So let's use a filter. Because you're going to filter out the one that we don't want. So let me use the filter shortcut. So if each dot text equal to a, so it should not be part of the array, then when I say set fruits should be equal to UPD. So that is it. So we can use it now to remove all these ones that we have done. Yeah, so wow, why did they remove all of them? So let's refresh the page and see why. Remove fruits, removes all of them. Why? Oh, it's not supposed to be equal to, not equal to a. So it was my filter condition. So let's refresh. So there's no match. So if I add this one, so let's see, let's console.log our UPD. Let's see what is outputting. So now we are troubleshooting. And what are we passing as? Is apple. Yes, it could not find because we have that. So to fix this error, you notice if I add a capital apple here, apple is going to be removed, you see. Then if I pass in grape here, so all the grape is going to be removed, you see. So it worked. So to fix the initial error, if I pass in apple here, so So let's refresh the page. If I pass an app, we see that. Let me see. Okay, let me pass in small app. Okay, let's refresh again. So if I pass in, you see that because of it, JavaScript is case sensitive. This one is not being removed. So to fix that error, what you can do here in your filter function is this. You say dot to lowercase, then you put here dot to lowercase, so that even if this one is in uppercase and this one is in uppercase, or this one is lowercase and uppercase, they will all be in the same case, so it will work. So if I do that now, even though I pass in small letter apple, this will work. So that's fine. So if I add in grape, to try with the same list 5 and 5. So you see that the idea of using the last index is not working, so we need to write a better function. So that is for that. So one application of list now is this, is that we can use it to now to refactor our navbar. Or our different routes. So any of them can go, but let's do that for our navbar. So which one do we do? The one for our navbar, or the one for our routes? So you notice from our routes here, what is common here is this, because if we leave it like this, now what will happen now is that if we have so many routes, before you know, you just see routes. But remember, one of the benefits of our using list is that the HTML is reduced drastically. So you see, instead of all this list, just have just this line of code. So even if it's 1000, it's this line of code, but to just generate all of them. So let's use this for our app, for our app.js. So we want to look at the similarities now. So we need a path, and we need the what? We need the element. Then each time we want to add a new route, we just have to go to our routes data and add it here, and the component I need to add. Then from that our app data, we can also read to get the URLs or the path and use it to display in our nav. So let's do that. So we are going to create a route component, a route data. So let's call it routes data .jss. Then const export routes export const, don't mix it. equal to an array of objects. So we have, so again we want to have our ID here, so let ID equals to 0. So we need now an ID plus plus. Now we need a path, which will be the path home. Then we need our component, which will be the component. Then we can have our props if we want. So you can add that here. So as mentioned that you want to add. So what I'm going to do now is to just copy everything that is here, but not to use it, but so that then I'll comment them out. Ctrl Z. Just comment them out. If I comment them out, let me copy it. Ctrl C. Then I'll come here. I'll just paste it below so that we can be making reference to it. So we need the home component. So I'll just copy this. And that is for that. Shift or arrow down. So we need, so the next one is car. So we have the car. So let's import this. So it will come here. We have the car. So it will come here. We'll have the cat. So we'll do that. To come here. So we have the flower. Come here. Then what other one do we have? We have the blog details and the blog. So we have the blog. Come here. So we have the blog details. Blog details is like this. ID. Come here. Then we have the hooks and the lists. Then lastly we have the lists. So that is it. Then for the car component, we want to copy this prop because we are still using it here. Ctrl C. And I think that would throw an error because this show price function is not working, but we'll fix that error. Let's fix that. I think this is for car. Okay, so because the actual function is not here, which we can bring here, we'll just put an anonymous function. So that is it. So it will fix that error. So the next thing here is to remove this, because we just use it to. Then we need our error. Yes. So the error now will be this. So if you're adding a new item to this list, it should come before this error. If you put it below here, then you have error from my error page. That's it. So you're done with everything that is here. Block details, block this. Then another thing that we can add here, okay, just leave it like that. Another thing that we can add here is a nav name. So let's do that. Nav name. So the nav name for this will be home. So let's do that, because I want us to use the same list for our nav. So the nav name for this will be car. Then the nav name for this will be what? The cat. The nav name for this will be flower. Then the nav name for this will be what? Will be blog. I can give another name, blogs. Then the nav name for this now. So this is where it becomes important. Now this does not have a nav name, so it will be false. So we are going to use that condition. So if it is not true, it will skip rendering that nav as a link. Then we will not have this on the nav. Then the nav name for this will be hooks. Then the nav name for this will be what? Will be lists. And this does not have a nav name still, so we'll put it as what? As false. So it will skip this. So anyone put as false means it will not be rendered in our nav here. Okay, so this is a very nice object that we can use in our routes and this. So let's save this. So we are going to export. Let's make this app route. App routes. So let's now copy one of these. Ctrl C and do the mapping here. So if not for the sake of learning, I'll just clean up this and I'll come to this upside. All this thing that we are not using here, I'll clean it, but just for the sake of your learning purpose, I'll just leave them there. So I'll come here, I'll put app routes dot map dot put route. So what I'm going to now return here will be this. So in this part now is going to be route dot path. Remember we did that. Then in this element it's going to be route dot component. Then of course you need to add your key, route.key. So you see how short it is, just one line will still have the same functionality. So if I go back to my nav, you see everything will still work. Notice everything is still working the way it is. See, so if I refresh this, let's refresh and make sure there's no error. Each child in the list should have now app. Is that where we made a mistake in our app routes? So which one is having the same name? GS39. Or is this thing not working? So let me do it manually first to see if the error will be out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I was trying to avoid. 8, 9. So what did I put here? Oh, no wonder, because it worked before and now it's not working. I put key instead of ID, so it should still work. So you see, in reality, if you type rubbish, you get error. So that's why it's good to confirm your code when you have error before you start fixing. So you see everything's working like before. So you see this, see there's no distance. Now let's go to our navbar. Now in our navbar, remember that here we use nav name, so we are going to still render our nav. So if I want to add a new item, you see how easy easy it is after I finish the navbar. I'll just add it in one place, create the component and come to this my app route. Just come here, add it, import the component, and it will reflect in my navbar and everything will be working. If I want to remove a nav, say for example now I don't want the list to show, I'll just come here and comment it out. And if I go to my browser, okay, I've not yet added it, it will not show. So that is the benefit of this. So let's go to the navbar. So for complex projects, you want to split your codes like this, so that it will be easier for you to maintain. So here, instead of this long, because it's getting so long now, as you can already see. So I'm going to comment this out. Then here we're going to use our list. So app routes dot map. So we have route, then we are going to return a list. So let's just copy one Ctrl C. And instead of this our list, we're going to put this toe here is going to be our route dot path, and that is it. And this our list here is going to be our route dot nav name. So you see why we give it a nav name. Then here you need the key route dot id. Don't forget again to put, if you put key there will be an error. So you see how easy it is now. See, there is no difference. So why is there a change in the CSS? Let's refresh. We'll find out why that is so. Because of this is inside an li tag, so the CSS will have issue. So we'll have li, remember a list, then inside it we have this. It then means our key is not going to be inside our link tag but inside our this. So that fixes it. So if we go back, we'll see exactly the same thing, but one is missing. And which one is that? Which one is that? One is actually missing. Okay, our hooks. Okay, the things we wrote in our hooks is actually missing. So, but everything is the same. Yes. So you see, it's only that those things we wrote in our hooks is no longer being applied, but that is not necessary. So to make those show, just come here, yeah, am I in the wrong place now? So all these things are not showing again. So as a last nav after my map, I can just put it here, list, and this. So that will be showing now. It's there, but we're not seeing it because I need to wrap it inside an anchor tag. Inside the list tag. Link. Let's see. Yes, it's not showing, just like this. So it is not showing in line because it's not part of the list. So but if I make a change here, so you see that it's not a link, so it will not work. It's not actually going anywhere. So if I make a list, you see it still works. So that is just how we do that. So the beauty of this now is if I don't want you can also make a condition that if it is if the nav name is hooks, then it should append this to it. But I just want to show you that. So the next thing that we now, to see how easy this looks now, in our next class we're going to learn about forms, and I will show you how easy it is to add a new route to our page. So that is it, and we'll call it a day. So before we end, I want to stop the section, so I'll remove this and save. Of course it will not show again, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my nav CSS and give it a color of, so anything that is a text will have a color of white. So that will fix it, and it will show, but it will not be showing as this, and this brings back an error that we did not fix. So the list type will be none. Will be none. So that will fix that error. Nice. So this is a link, so that the user will know that this is not a link. So if we add to cart, it says see ads, and that is it. So that is the power of list, and that is how we use list. So I will see you in the next video.